Hi, I'm not in my pajamas, just a cherry t-shirt. I tried a fantastic girl. Yeah, the rest of the day. I have some news to share. Oh, Lord. That was funny. That was like, I don't know what that was. What was that? 80s early disco rap? I don't know what. I liked the little. Can you guys hear me? Is my music off? Crying out loud. Thank you. I try. I try. Yeah. Hi, are you? Are you for real? Let me say hi to the rest real quick. Hi, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Hi, Mark. Long time no see. Hi, Nature Sounds, Tennessee Girl. Mary Jane. I know. I have 40 subs. I actually have 41, but it's who's counting, right? Just me. Yeah, thank you. Just be you and ignore the drama bunch, says Tennessee Girl. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, well, I came across, okay, on this other iPad that was given to me way back before I had this one. And I'm so grateful to have it because I read true crime stories and things off it. Plus, my son uses it now and then. Where was I going with that? Now So I don't have the YouTube icon on or anywhere on it. I don't know if my son deleted it or what, but I typed into @PaperCutTina2332. Oh my gosh. You guys, there's channels out there I've never heard of. CTW, 6 subscribers, 3 days ago, started doing lives about me. One about grifting and cats and this and that and the other thing. and my issues with the other creator and the other female creator, and then this person, and it was that fake talking, or that that monotone whatever, so you don't know who on earth it is at all, male or female, talking about the beginning of my, whatever you want to call it, disagreements with her. And then I strolled down, and I've heard of YouTube duckery before. Um, she had one that I did when I was up on Dolly Vision's panel with Dumplin and Mab Investigates and some other people, and now I can't remember. We were talking about our cats, how we can't say cat. And then Jimmy said, just say cats. Don't say I'm going to touch my cat. He said that. And then Dumplin said, well, I'm not, I can talk about my cat. I'm at my own house. And then I said the word pussy, and people were giggling, and it was just really kind of funny. But Dumplin went, ah! And Mab went, ah! And, you guys, I did things like that on purpose. Like, it's so obvious. Back then, I did those kinds of sort of sexual innuendo things on purpose. I know what a pussy is on a woman, but I just said it. I wasn't afraid to say it. But I also knew that you can say the bitch word, the F word. You can say things on here, because I've checked the TOS guideline things before. Not that it's, a good thing or whatever, but it was a whole year ago. So it was really bizarre. And then there was a time when I was on Rebels a year ago. I mean, it's just weird to see 1 year ago under the stream. And the other lady creator that, I used to be friends with, I guess I'll just say that, was liking me and noticing who I was, and liked the way I was sticking up for myself. And I was talking about cyberbullying and how she could relate, and and this and that, the other thing. And it was 20 minutes long, and I listened to the whole thing. And it was weird, because she said things like, I really like this paper cut Tina. I really like her voice. Um, she didn't want me to stifle my voice, my expressions of how I was feeling about things. She said I was, it was on TR's channel. But, she was sticking up for me, and kind of wondering who I was. So this was before she was ever up on any of Jimmy's panels with me. So, that's way back when Rebel first started his channel. And it's just, it's sad. Honestly, it made me sad. If we were still talking, I would have sent that little 20-minute thing that she probably forgets she's even made. So anyway, I did used to be quite different, but I really didn't know. Well, I still don't really know, but the ins and outs of YouTube type deal, learning as you go along. I mean, even Mark here, he's had a channel. Well, you had a channel like a few years ago, I think 3 years ago or something, and now you have one again. And so people have dabbled in this stuff for years. And I feel like I can mention Rosa's name now, because she mentioned mine, and she mentioned it first. I had two ladies point it out to me. It's whatever. It was her reinforcing her beliefs about me visiting my mother, but it wasn't bashing, and it wasn't really negative, and it wasn't really mean. And if she sees this, it was when that Miss Voodoo was up on her panel. And it was about 7 minutes long, because I was curious. And I listened to it, and it is what it is. So I'm just saying her name now. But I know I didn't break the confidence, if you want to call it that. with morbid helping us try to figure out, is there a middle? What is there? Hi, Julie Delk. Hi there. Hi, Ryan and Red Moss. Hi, everybody. Deproming from. No, we don't talk. I don't. Even when I had him on Messenger to help me through with some things and some things that we were trying to plan, because he was literally going to help me. He showed me though, squeezing and how important it is to strengthen. You need to strengthen your hands, which, I'll be honest with you, I never thought of, like, who cares or whatever. But having him hold my arms up and one, not my left one, not as strong, and maybe we all have that, right? A stronger hand or arm than the other one. I don't know. But, I can be all bummed about it. I'm more surprised and even kind of perplexed by it all. Because you have to realize, when you're abused by men your whole life, and you feel that you're being wronged in some kind of way, or it's spoken about you behind the scenes, or that, or on a live or whatever, you start sticking up for yourself regardless of anything. Like, you have to do it. And that's just the way it is. My father said to me, I thought it was the oddest thing, I had never heard it before, and it was over 20 years ago. He said, Megan, he's passed away now, but he said, Megan, you're a battered woman. And I'm just like, that just sounds like you're getting beat and battered and slapped and all that. I've been through, it's mostly verbal, right, through my life. And I've been kicked, and I, was back fisted, and my blood went on the dashboard, whatever. And my tooth felt loose up here, but it wasn't. So the impact was that hard. And then I was punched here when it was supposed to be here by a woman that was wasted, a friend of mine back in the day. And then kicked like heck in Okinawa, and welts up and down my legs and whatnot. And then boxed in my ear once. But besides that, I've never had ever a black eye, which, is an utter miracle. I've never had a broken arm, and I've never had a broken leg. Abuse is abuse, though, right? And we all know, us women and men, the verbal is worse than the physical. It just stays with you. It stays with you. Or it can be, anyway. So, I saw a side of him, yes, that really surprised me. And, I used to follow right along with all of that when it was against other women. But I felt like it was okay because they were against him. Do you see what I mean? But I feel like now, in hindsight, no woman should be talked, well, or man, but you know what I mean, negatively like that, especially uh, on YouTube. Now, am I perfect? No. God knows the things I've said and done to people. But I can honestly say right here, right now, I don't enjoy it, and I don't relish in the fact to hurt people, like, mentally. Or I think if you're hurt enough, you don't want to do that to other people. Or you're hurt so much, right? If you're bullied as a kid and whatever, then you do want to lash out, right? That's when I see kids bullying out here and stuff. I kind of think they're probably getting it maybe from an older brother or a parent, whatever, at home, or maybe at school every day, and then they bring it here. I don't know. But but no, I have nothing to do with that channel or that situation. And I've transformed quite a bit though because of him, and he did help me get a lot of subs, at one point. And in all honesty, I think I might have helped his channel a tad. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't even say that, but I know he helped me. So, excuse me. Don't worry, smile. They are just making you famous, says Mary Jane. You're so funny. And that reminds me, there's another creator out there, Cheshire Cat, and was it 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, she did some videos on me, and they're really kind of funny. But I think she heard me say Romper Room once. I think I had some people up on panel, and I said, doesn't this kind of feel like Romper Room? Or I don't know how it came up, that show in like the gosh darn, I don't think it was the 50s. It was the 60s. It could have started in the 50s, but where she talked into that mirror thing and she said, and I forgot how it went, but she took Romper Room Lady's real voice, had my face in the mirror thing going, and I'm talking to chat, but she's making it sound like I'm talking to the kids. It was pretty well done. It was short. I think it was a minute long, but she was like, and I see Jesse, and I see Jamie, and oh my, there's Mary, and I see Bobby Joe, and I see, what I mean, talking into the mirror like this. And it was like, oh my gosh, you guys, it brought back memories. I mean, I didn't watch it every day. What, what, we weren't really into a lot of TV back then. And my eye itches again in the corner. But yeah, so they came up, and I was like, oh, and I was curious. So I looked at these videos. The sad news is, hi Lulu, hi Artsy, hi Gramazon, hi Ray Jones. Yeah, I'm okay. Hindsight is 2020. Thank you. Yeah. Is this Karen? Can we talk? This is Karen. Can we talk? XF444? I thought you were. Wait, what did I think you were? Something FXXX or something. So I just don't even know if I believe that that's you, but it very well might be. Romper Room. I know. That may be Karen. Sorry, Karen. It might be. Yeah, first I read, about my anxiety stuff because out of my book, because I was accused by a couple of creators. Hi, Skunk Ape Mysteries. I shortened my name. Oh, okay. Yeah, in fact, I saw you today. That's so weird. Was it Cheshire? Cheshire Cat, I believe it was her, has clips of me dancing in my little black shorts and my black tank top, my boots, whatever, and quite a bit of you doing your dance with your chair, a little bit of Nicolina doing her shirt thing, and so no, I'm giving them shout outs. There's nothing wrong with that, Demetrius. You're being nasty to me because, well, we know why, and I won't say it here, but you know, I've never blocked you. Don't make me do that. Okay? I told you if you want to be my friend, we can say hi on Messenger. I don't have time for the phone. Okay? I told you that, and then I didn't answer my phone when I didn't have time. And what happened between you and Parker, I understand totally. He's very hard, to get along with. I get all that, but I never thought that we wouldn't be friends. Never. And I didn't make that choice. I haven't even made that choice yet. It depends on how you continue to treat me. But last time you jumped in, you said pretty much the same thing, like almost word for word. So, yeah, just because the phone rings doesn't mean you have to answer it. And the thing is, my phone is always off. And people know this. My mom knows this. When she called earlier, I didn't answer. It wasn't on. And if you call my phone at 7:30 in the morning, my time, 10:30 yours on the East Coast, that's too darn early. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to start leaving my phone on because my sister's back in the hospital. She's very, very sick. She could use prayers, you guys. And I'm discussing, we're wondering and discussing if the time will be the right time for me to go this summer to see her, or if she's going to get a little better on her chemo and a later time in a year or even some months, or I don't know, is better. So my mom and I are talking about it. So we're trying to figure out. Apparently now she's only been in the hospital since, not only, but since yesterday, and she's doing better, but she's in a hospital, right? So basically she ended up, it was hard for her to eat and practically swallow because of a blockage, but it wasn't tumor blockage. It had something to do with her stomach and her esophagus or something. But yeah, so my phone is on, in case of an emergency or my mom just needs to call. And I've been taking care of. Hi, according to Leanie and Black Roses. Hi, everybody. Thank you. So yeah, she's in the hospital. I said, Mom, is she on, pain med for the pain? And she said she's on a lot of medicines. So she's in ICU, you guys. So let's see. So prayers ever, if you guys think of her. Her name's Ashley. So, that was distressing. When I told my daughter about it, I was bawling my eyes out. But then, my son was getting upset, and I just had to buck up and stop. So I did. But crying is okay, always. Thanks so much, you guys. That's really sweet. So I'm going to get into this. And I want to say again, thank you so much for the people that supported me yesterday. Like, literally, it got me kind of choked up because I was almost nearly begging. I'm in dire straits to help with the situation. I did not think my guinea pig would still be alive. And frankly, when Charlie passes, I'll have that extra money that I don't have to buy hay, alfalfa, grass. Bedding is the most expensive. Pellets are pretty expensive, but they last. And a fruit and a vegetable now and then. I mean, I have to have extra of that off of my food stamps, but I'm able to wing it or handle it. Hi, Joan Marie. Yeah, thanks, you guys. Yeah, my sister has high grade, which is not low grade, high grade, serous, which means water-filled cysts, the fluid, carcinoma, and it's ovarian cancer, you guys. My mom's a nurse, has been for 40 years, and she said, it's the worst kind of cancer. Yeah, that you can have. But my sister's very positive, very, very, very close to the Lord, and I messaged. Well, I tried calling her, but she didn't answer, and I figured I let it ring like 4 times. And I thought, well, maybe she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her. Well, I ended up calling her husband's phone number by accident. I don't know how, never ever done that before, but he let me know. And basically, you guys, in the message, I said, among other things, that I love her and all that. I said, God, what I say, God must have known that you would be able to handle something like this. You know, um, she's a lot more, I don't know, she seems a lot more calm and stronger than I would be. I mean, I had my stroke 3 years ago, but honestly, I don't think it's hardly anything compared to what she's going through. And then she started chemo on Monday. Yeah, thanks, Artsy. Thank you. Hmm. Well, she didn't know. She was getting extremely bloated down there, but she just thought it was like bloatedness, right? But then things started getting painful and she was tired and couldn't hardly get out of bed and got to the hospital, and that's, yeah. So if something isn't right with your body, you guys know. You know. I mean, you can have a pinched nerve in your back and be having a gosh darn stroke or heart attack. It doesn't mean every pinched nerve you have, something like that's happening. But if it's kind of just won't go away and whatever, you know, um, even like a lady, I've said this story, she was a soccer like champion, like not maybe of tournaments or whatever, but she was real good and very athletic and in her 30s. And she was on the airplane and she had an extremely sharp pain in her leg. She was having a heart attack, not even a stroke. She didn't die. They, got her off the plane in time, but things happen, you guys. Just be thankful you have your health. Um, so anyway, yeah, I wonder which one of us goes first and what the other will do. I know. Yeah. And okay, so I'm going to read this. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And now I'm going to read a little bit from the You Can Be Happy No Matter What. I hashtagged it today. Sometimes we just feel like, well, even for me anyway, my thoughts get in the way. I can barely live in the moment. Hi, Truth Seeker. How are you? Oh, God, it's always in the darn corner. Okay, so I'm on relationships now. After reading the 5 principles for keeping life in perspective, for people that haven't heard, I won't, read what they mean. We all know. But the 5 principles are the principle of thought, the principle of moods, the principle of separate realities, the principle of feelings, the principle of the present moment. And I'll just read some of this. I usually read about 20 minutes or so out of here, hanging in there. Me too. All right. Relationships are difficult for many people, yet once we understand the nature of relationships and how the 5 principles are woven into this understanding, our contact with others will cease to be a problem and will bring greater gifts. Any relationship begins with us when we can tap into a more positive feeling state ourselves. We open the door for mutual respect, open and honest communication. When our own lives are full of contentment, we have some left over for other people. When we feel good ourselves, there is no need to be overly critical or defensive because we no longer feel threatened by others. Everyone you come into contact with is doing the best that he or she can in life. No one is getting up in the morning with the intent of ruining your life, except perhaps some very disturbed people. People are genuinely trying to do the best they can to make their lives and the lives of others work out well. Most people, particularly those close to us, would welcome the opportunity to help us make our lives run more smoothly. Everyone functions psychologically in the same way. We all think. We all have moods. Because our thinking and our moods are unique to each one of us, we each live in a separate reality, and we all have feelings. These four psychological components are true of people everywhere in the world. They are true of you, your partner, your coworkers, your children. They are true of me, my wife, my daughters, my clients. They are true of everyone. This is written by Richard Carlson, PhD. Hi, Mary Jane. Hi, everyone. Um, Consider the principle of thought. Each of us is constantly thinking, and we will do so for the rest of our lives. An impersonal element of life that goes on whether or not we want it to. Rain or shine, thought marches on in ourselves and in others. How do we use this ability to our best advantage? Trying not to cut my hair off there. Okay. The thought systems of others. We have learned that thoughts with recurring patterns become part of our individualized thought systems because our thought systems are self validating systems. In psychological terminology, closed systems, we are unable to question them. And it will always seem to us that we are seeing life accurately and realistically because of this, and because self validating systems are very protective of themselves. We tend to question the ways in which others live their lives and do things. Information that doesn't match our existing beliefs will be filtered through our belief system and judged as inconsistent with the truth. A strange way of doing things, weird, unusual, different, and most often wrong. As we get to know another person better, this tendency to question their thought system will increase, not decrease. The more opportunity we have to interact and spend time with other thought systems, the greater is the chance of conflict. This is why the most difficult relationship for so many people is marriage. For unmarried people, the most difficult relationship is commonly with the person they are closest or most intimate with. In some ways, it seems ironic that we should be most bothered by those to whom we wish to be closest. But it can't be any other way, unless until we understand the psychological functioning of ourselves and our partners. Once we do, the opposite will happen. With understanding, we will gain new love and respect for those we choose to spend the most time with. We will retain our positive feelings for them as special and unique people. The issue of our differences will cease to bother us. Perhaps it will even become amusing. We will begin to see people as characters rather than adversaries. It's critical to know and understand that our partner, or anyone we are in relationship with, sees life just as clearly as we do. No one can question his or her own vision of life, because thought is the originator of our experience. As we look at life from the inside out, our vision passes through our thought system, and it will always seem to us that anyone, if they weren't so blind or stubborn, would see things as we do, but they can't and never will be able to. In order to have consistently positive relationships, we must take this as a given. Coming to terms with this realization is both a humbling and a freeing insight. On the one hand, we have to admit that we have always called life is not admit that what we have always called life is not life in its most accurate state. Our personalized version of life and our interpretation of others is arbitrary. Had the information that has been stored away in our memory and thought system been different, so too would be our vision of life and our reactions to others. The good news is that your version of life isn't wrong. Yours is every bit as justified as anyone else's, because psychologically we all function in the same way. When we understand each other in this manner, we expect to see things differently from others, because we learn to expect it. We are surprised and always delighted when someone sees something exactly as we do. And when they don't, that's okay. We learn to say to ourselves, oh, that's how they do it in their world. I am not suggesting that we pay no heed to our differences or pretend that things don't bother us. If that's how you're feeling, please reread the chapters on thought and separate realities. Our thought systems are neutral. We can't pretend that they don't exist, nor is there any chance of eliminating them. The best we can do is understand that we and everyone else have them and that they determine what we see. Are you up? Can you do it, please? You sound like you're really near your door. Okay, let me finish this paragraph and then I'll shut it, okay? With this understanding, we can begin to listen to ourselves with a grain of salt, with wisdom and a sense of perspective. We can learn to take ourselves and our personal thoughts less seriously. As our understanding deepens, we will genuinely be not so bothered by others, and we won't take their thoughts so personally or seriously. We may completely disagree with someone else, and that will be absolutely fine. We don't have to see eye to eye with people, as we now have a new perspective. I'll be right back. I got Panda in here. Big Panda. This is Panda. He's my oldest kitty. Panda. Panda. Oh, hi, baby. Want to do another meows? Panda. Panda. See? He's a big black cat. Big. Very, very muscly. Reminds me of a black panther. All right. Um, Nurture the good feeling in your relationships. Okay, this is a little long, so I'll read just part of it. The most important aspect of a nurturing relationship is the feeling that exists between two people. If the feeling is good, we say we have a good relationship. If the feeling isn't so good, if the good feeling has diminished, we say we have a bad relationship. All relationships begin with some degree of positive warmth and feeling. The positive feeling is the reason the relationship went forward in the first place. The feeling was there because the people involved weren't thinking critically about each other. If you don't focus your attention on the negative aspects of a person, your natural feelings of love and respect are able to come forth. The feeling we have inside of us will always affect the person we are talking to. For example, you could say to your child, "Of course I love you. I'm your father." If you say this with a harsh tone, your child will not take your words literally. He or she hears and feels the tone or feeling behind your words. There are many such examples that we experience every day, whether we are talking to our children, our spouse, our partner, our friends, our boss, our employees, or a complete stranger. The feelings behind our words, not the words themselves, will determine how the other will interpret and react to us. The way to get back your warm feeling for another is first to understand its importance and make it a priority. Candace right there. All right, make it a priority. When you feel warmly toward another, you overlook your differences to a large extent. When you do have differences to work out, you do so calmly from a place of wisdom. When you don't feel warmly toward another, you are reacting directly from your habitual thought system, continually pointing to your differences and blaming them for your discontented feelings. But as we have seen, it's not our differences that create our feelings, but our thinking that creates our feelings. Understanding our own thinking can release us from its ill effects. The second aspect of regaining our positive feelings for others is to see the innocence in and to look beyond people's bad behavior. Beneath our negative behavior, we all want to be a warm, friendly, compassionate person. I've yet to meet or work with a person who doesn't see himself as a good person, or at least as having the potential to be a good person. Even people who appear aggressive, stubborn, and selfish see themselves, or wish they could, as nice people. The principle of moods teaches us that each one of us operates as if we were really two people. At our best, we have access to our wisdom and common sense. We are friendly, helpful, and kind. But at our worst, our sense of equilibrium is lost. We stumble, tend to be negative, and exaggerate faults in others. The factor that determines where we are at any given moment is the degree or lack of insecurity we are experiencing within. Think about yourself for a moment. How do you act and think about life when you feel insecure? Are you happy go lucky at ease and full of positive rapport? Of course not. Well, everyone, including the people we are in relationship with, functions in exactly the same way. When we understand and have the humility to accept this fact about human beings, we can make allowances for people's behavior. No one is at their best when they feel insecure. Think about someone you know whom you perceive to be an offensive or demanding person, someone you have difficulty maintaining a positive feeling toward. Now, despite your difficulty, you know there are people who feel warmly toward that person. How do they do it? Are they blind to the facts? No. They do the same thing we all do for people we care about. Without even knowing it, they look beyond the person's behavior. The person they like is not a static personality set forever in stone, but someone whose behavior fluctuates according to his level or her level of insecurity. They say, "Oh, Jim didn't mean what he said." He tends to lose his temper, and sometimes he says things he shouldn't. They see Jim, whereas you look at Jim's behavior. We are all capable of looking beyond another's behavior and do it all the time intuitively. We dismiss or defend the actions of people we love when we understand that they are feeling insecure. To improve our relationships, we need to do the same thing with intention, to have a warm feeling for someone, even though we don't feel they deserve it. As we practice this, our rapport and feeling of mutual respect will increase. Hi, Barbara Smith. Hi, Rapper. Hi, Army Vet. Hi, everyone. Are you guys hitting the like for me, please? Thank you. Well, hi, Sherry. Are you still in New York? I can't remember. Were you gonna? I thought you're gonna be gone 5 days, or is it a whole week? Let's see what you write before I start reading. Black Roses, hi Rapper. How are you feeling? I've seen your little campfire videos and your little I say little because they're short, right? Um, things. So you're probably still in New York, unless you like flew back today and you're back in Iowa right now. You might be. Wait, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You flew on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, you're only on your Wednesday, Thursday, fourth day. Not only, but your fourth day of hanging out and whatnot. Maybe you're coming back on Sunday. I'm not sure. The importance of this positive feeling in relationships can't be overstated. If we learn to access this feeling, we will bring out the best, not only in ourselves, but also in the people we are with. The question isn't whether or not our partners will ever feel insecure again and act in ways we don't like. They will. The important lesson is to be able to maintain our positive feeling for them. If we can, it will help increase their self confidence, and as their level of security goes up, their behavior will improve. Everyone wins. They will appreciate your compassion and love and will have learned from the experience. If, on the other hand, we can't maintain our positive feelings for our partners, their level of security, already low, will tend to drop even further. As their insecurity increases, their behavior will remain distasteful or become worse, and their feelings will remain sour. In poor relationships, people make the mistake of taking negative behavior personally. As we begin to sense the ease, common sense, and practicality of maintaining our positive feelings for others, even in adversity, both the number and severity of instances in which we feel attacked will diminish. Other people will sense our good feelings towards them and feel reassured, with resultant closeness and good feeling. There is an old saying, it's not what you say, but how you say it. The how you say it is the feeling behind what you say. Look for a positive feeling inside you before you speak. If you want the interaction to be positive, even if you feel you are justified or have real reason to be upset, still wait for a better feeling to surface. When it does, your response will always be more appropriate and effective than it would have been before. This doesn't mean waiting to think of something nice to say, but instead just waiting for a positive feeling to come about. When the positive feeling surfaces, and it will, what we will say will take care of itself. It may be nice if that's what's appropriate, or it may not be. But if you wait for the positive feeling to be there before you speak, your relationships will greatly improve. In those extreme instances where it seems impossible to find a warm feeling, understand that what's inside you affects the person you are with. You do have it in you to feel warmly despite bad behavior, to bring forth your wisdom and compassion. This in turn generates respect and understanding, which takes the edge off mutual frustration. You both will see the situation with clearer eyes and a broader perspective. Rather than getting stomped on because of our easygoing nature, we will begin to receive more of what we have been looking for all along: love and respect from others and from ourselves. People respect and admire others who are understanding of their mental state, especially when they are down. And they appreciate those who can maintain a sense of well being when others have lost their heads. Who would you rather be around? A person who gets upset and panics, or someone who keeps cool and is able to make the best of any difficult situation? The extent to which we are unable to generate a positive or warm feeling for someone is the extent to which we are thinking negatively about them, now or in negative memories. If we drop these thoughts or memories, our positive feelings for the person return. Although it may feel normal, it is not natural to feel negativity, frustration, or irritability toward another. When you do, it is a signal that you have reverted to looking at life and other people through your habitual thought system. Think a moment about what would happen if you were arguing with someone you love, and right in the middle of the argument, a fire broke out in your home, putting your lives in danger. What would happen to your argument? It would cease to be important. It would be temporarily forgotten, replaced with thoughts of survival and concern for each other. Getting each other to safety would be your only concern. The feelings between the two of you would change instantly in response to a change in your focus. Hmm. All right. Oh, okay, wait. All right, I'm almost done with this part. Many parents have had similar psychological experiences with their children. One minute they are angry, thinking about how late the child is and coming home, for example. And the next moment they're grateful their child is alive. After a phone call relating a serious accident that almost killed their child. We have all heard of or experienced such incidents. In both examples, the individuals involved forgot what they were angry about, which created a change in their feeling for the person they were upset with. Perhaps the most powerful example of this, when one member of a couple with a rocky marriage is diagnosed with a terminal illness. Instantly, the couple realizes the absurdity and waste of feeling anything other than love toward their partner. The years of arguing and bitterness are forgotten, and a sense of warmth and compassion returns to their relationship. Thank you, Mary Jane. Yeah, it's a bummer. Hi, Amanda Elizabeth. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. Hi, Marion Ann Bays. Hi, it's been a minute. Um, Okay, this new understanding about the care and feeling of relationships puts us in a precarious position. We now know too much about our psychological functioning and can't turn back, at least not all the way. We have to choose between regaining a more positive feeling in ourselves and improving our relationships, or continuing to think in a dysfunctional manner that makes us feel discontented. I am not referring here to positive thinking or forcing ourselves to think of something nice, but to the fact that the very act of thinking is creating our misery or lack of happiness. You have the right to continue thinking anything you wish, for however long, but once you understand how thinking creates your moment to moment experience of life, you will undoubtedly decide to discontinue those thoughts that are taking you away from where you want to be. Where is my little thingamajigger? I can't find it. So I'm just gonna fold the page for now until I find my bookmark. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I got something out of that. Hopefully you guys did. Oh, oh my gosh. Got my pink kitty back there. I got that for Shaylin, but she's like, no, I'm too old for it. So I'm really too old for it. So that's why I have it. All right, you guys. We're on to our pebbles in the pond. Been doing this for a little while. Living with chronic neurobiological diseases. Um, and I discussed anxiety and some other disorders yesterday. If people want to look back at any of my lives, they're pretty informative. This is a great teaching book. And we're on anxiety, and now we're on to managing anxiety. And this is what it says. A lot of us suffer with anxiety and then, oops, panic disorders and whatever, right? Oh, comes with it. Panda, you're taking up all the room. This cat's so funny. Okay. One of the ways to manage anxiety, is to identify our personal comfort zone. Comfort zones are small or large. They can change in size over time. Often it is a matter of age and experience. In some aspects of our lives, our comfort zones grow tremendously. Comfort zones might be depicted like this. Now, it's an interesting little illustration. Every now and then I hold up these illustrations. We got our comfort zone. Okay, around the outside is intolerable, to be avoided at all costs, anxiety producing, distractible, set able to for us, in all inattentive, frustrated, all these things around the outside, right? Oops. Bored. Okay. Then we have comfort zone in the middle. Willing to move a few steps ahead, able to relate to others, confident, inspired, in the flow of things, exhilarated, relaxed, aware of the rules, and skilled and proficient. Not all of us feel all these things, right, at once. I know I certainly don't. Yeah. Okay, we know how to stay within our comfort zones. It is both a cognitive and affective process, thought and feeling. Oh, it's affective. Cognitive and affective process, thought and feeling, intellect and emotion. Yet if we stay in the very most secure middle of the comfort zone, it can eventually become its own kind of prison. Huh. So we want to venture out of our comfort zone. We don't want to be right in the middle. Okay. It is sometimes a sign that the zone itself has become very small. The antidote for that is to move around within the comfort zone, pushing up its ceiling higher and higher, while all the time knowing exactly where the floor is. The area for growth is up towards the top of the zone. We can get to that upper area of the zone by gradually augmenting new strategies, attempting incremental steps onward and upward. Okay. Huh. So so the term anxiety has been in use since the 1500s. Did you guys know that? I didn't. Its root is the Latin word anxious, ANXIUS, which means a condition of agitation and distress. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, crap. Did I scare you, Panda? Panda? Oh, Lord. I startled Panda. What you doing? All right. Anxiety is so large a factor that it joins thought disorders and mood disorders as deserving as its own class of illnesses. Anxiety disorders are very treatable, but they can be resistive and very serious. It causes lots of misery in the meantime. Some people have missed out on major life events because of anxiety. How many senior recitals have been canceled? How many failing examinations in high school and college have been influenced by anxiety? How many marriage engagements have been broken because of anxiety? We have all had experiences in which anxiety has played a role, for good or for ill. Sometimes, in preparing for some important event, a moderate amount of anxiety has energized us, allowed us to focus on our strength, and propelled us through. We have played a good game, given an excellent report, or gotten all the grocery shopping done on time without forgetting a single item. On the other hand, there have been times when the anxiety was more severe. Instead of helping us refine and concentrate our thoughts and actions, the anxiety has limited us, turned us into a klutz, or caused us to blurt out the absolutely last thing we wanted to say. We've introduced a couple using the name of a former spouse. We arrive at the speaker's roast room and realize we've left our notes in the restroom. We realize our face is flushed, we're gasping for breath, and when we open our mouth to speak, our voice is weak and high pitched. Anxiety. Did I miss a page? No. Okay. We've introduced a couple using the name of a. Okay. If this occurs frequently, it places limits on what we will attempt. We will begin to avoid situations in which we face embarrassment. We turn down promising opportunities simply because there are too many high-risk situations involved. We back away from some of the activities and people we most enjoy because the very thought of all the things that could happen is overwhelming. People begin to wonder about us. They try to do something for us that we would enjoy, invite us to a meal, share tickets for a concert, plan a trip to the ocean, and we back out at the last minute because we're sick. Guess what? We really are sick. The anticipation of an event filled with unknown degrees of discomfort can produce all kinds of physical symptoms. Nausea, headache, and flu-like symptoms are among the most common. Learning to control anxiety can open whole new vistas in our lives. Okay, so stress, right? Stress causes anxiety. There's someone of you that are clearly addicted to live streams. DJJ1551. Welcome. Yeah, a lot of us are. Or, well, I should speak for myself, but well, no, I'm not addicted necessarily to live streams. I mean, I used to be, of course, right? But not so much anymore. But I am addicted to YouTube, seeing videos I've missed. I'm addicted to Coffee House True Crime. And the Irish one, Irish Coffee True Crime. That's incredible. I've seen all of her episodes from a year ago, and I'm behind now on about 10 because I can't look at it all. Hi, Ozzymanda. Hi. I've let my anxiety limit me so much, says Barbara Smith. That's a bummer. Yeah, I think I had it and didn't even know really that I had it when I first started drinking, right? I was nervous around my boyfriend when I was 16. I wanted to feel fit in, whatever. And plus the drinking age was 18, which frankly I think is a mistake. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Yes, stress is part of everyday life. Burning the supper, living with divorce, hosting a party, receiving a promotion, moving, losing a child, going on vacation, living alone. Stress is a fact of life. But contrary to popular belief, stress is not the pressure from the outside, the divorce, the death, the burnt dinner, the vacation, the isolation. Those are stressors. Your response to those situations constitutes stress. Oh, Mary Jane doesn't hate anybody. She's sweet, Rapper. I don't think that. I mean, you know. Okay. But I don't know what's going on, so I'll just stay out of it, I guess. Okay. The distinction is important. Stressors are the multiple daily occurrences that call upon you to adapt. Stress is your response as you attempt to make the adjustment. I'm going to say it again. That's kind of interesting because the distinction is important. Stressors are the multiple daily occurrences that call upon you to adapt. Stress is your response as you attempt to make the adjustment. All right. Yeah. So there's a Dr. Hans, Selye. Is it Selye? Selye? I don't know how it's pronounced. But he wrote a book, and writing in The Stress of Life by this doctor, he says stress is essentially reflected by the rate of all the wear and tear caused by life. Okay, is stress good or bad for me? It can't be either. Some stress is good. Everyone needs stress sometimes. Gearing up to drive on ice, fighting for your rights, meeting a deadline, preparing for Christmas, making it through a crisis on raw courage, cramming for an exam, making a terrific impression at a job interview, walking into a room full of strangers at a party, all demand the stimulation of positive stress. Stress can be a turn on. It can pump you up, give you energy, supply that zest for living. But stress can also become destructive. One person is drained from the stress of a divorce or a couple from the death of their son. Distress can also come from less traumatic events, such as fighting with someone you love, expecting too much of yourself, turning every little setback into a crisis, or sacrificing sleep to add a few minutes to your workday. Distress, whether it comes from major or relatively minor traumas, can wear you out. Yeah, it can, and I'm here to say you can get a stroke. Okay? Because my son was back and forth 19 times in those years before I had my stroke. My cholesterol was supposedly under control, even though I wasn't on a med at that time. I was on red yeast rice pills. I was, well, the C disease was out there. That was very stressful. I, for one, was petrified of getting it. You know, they were saying 80% of the people, or 75, you end up in the hospital incubated. 80% weren't coming out. And back then, remember you guys, the doctors would choose. Instead of keeping someone on in the very beginning, 2 or 3 weeks on a ventilator, and then they'd come through and they'd be wheeled out of the hospital, and you'd see those stories. When the hospitals were so massively filled up with people, yeah, they made their choices of who they thought had a chance or not. That's very distressing, if you ask me. Hi, Jess Becca. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. So anyway, I felt wonderful and good, and I'm not going to go into it, but I felt really good, you guys. I was rested. I had a bowl of cereal. I'm riding my bicycle. There's a little wind and sunshine. And boom, I get to my eye appointment, locking up my bike. Yeah. And all I noticed was numbness on the very top of my right wrist. That's when I noticed. And that's only because I was taking my jacket off and it rubbed and I didn't feel anything. And then I started questioning why in my own mind, and I paid attention to my body. All right, how can I tell when stress becomes distress? Oh, wait, I missed this part. Stress is like spice. In the right proportion, it enhances the flavor of a dish. Too little produces a bland, dull meal. Too much may choke you, like the violin string that needs enough tension to make music, but not so much that it snaps. You have an appropriate level of stress. The trick is to find out. And that's true. I played viola from the age of 14 to 18 for 4 years, and then it was heavy. It wasn't light like some little violin. You could just, it was heavier and thicker, and I had to have a sponge and everything with a rubber band wrapped around. And I don't know. I mean, a viola is what they needed in the Vermont Youth Orchestra. They had enough violinists. My sister was a cellist in there, and yeah. So I just up and quit when I had had enough, which honestly, that's what I did with everything. My jobs. Like, if I didn't like my job, I quit. I didn't wait till I found another, whatever. Now, I probably assumed, right? Oh, it's a waitressing job. I can just walk in somewhere and get hired. And kind of back then, you could. Um, you just fill out the paper. You didn't have to go online. You didn't have to wait. You had an interview within 3 days or the next day or whatever. And yeah, your body will tell you about your stress with a tight throat, sweaty palms, an aching head, fatigue, nausea, diarrhea, a vague uneasiness. It will send you signals when you're suffering distress. If you discover that you're more tired, depressed, frustrated, or restless than usual, if your relationships are no longer satisfying, if your sleeping patterns change or your weight goes up or down dramatically, you may be experiencing too much or too little stress. Generally, you'll know which one. Your body, mind, and spirit will send you their distress signals. Be aware, listen to yourself. That's sweet. At Rapper. This is because we love you, Rapper. We're getting to know you more and more, right? People are getting to know me more and more. But you've been showing yourself lately, and you're more outspoken, and tell us about what you're going through, and that's a real good positive thing, and that's a strong thing. A lot of men is a lot of people know they don't talk about their feelings. They don't say when they're sad. They don't say when they're hurt. They don't say when they're mad. They kind of mostly either stuff it all in. This is what I've seen and experienced in my life. Or they act out. You know what I mean? Um, in all kinds of ways. Drinking, overworking, right? Um, uh, you know, into fitness more than anything else or whatever. I mean, I've never had a boyfriend like that, but they're out there. Um, I'm so addicted, supportive, if you will. I will listen to Tina in the car while driving. You're so funny. Thank you. That's sweet. Hi, Winter. Hi, Pam C. Hi, everyone. Okay, so wait now. So this is just your anxious mind ruminating, and that means just it keeps thinking about it. My son goes through that, okay, on something that is really nothing. This teaching from Paper Cut could really benefit you. Do your breathing. Please stay. Oh, he was going to leave? Did he leave even? Oh, do you know how many times, I mean, you know, Rapper, how many times I have people that, uh, when I'm asking for a Cash App and PayPal more than once, they think it's begging. They don't understand I really could use it. Call it what you want, but other people, not grift, but ask for things that aren't necessities of life. You have to take care of your animals. You have to. I have to buy a bag of kitten chow before I can get a thing of toothpaste. But the good thing is they're only like $1.99, the cheap ones at the store up here. But I have to buy toilet paper before I get a thing of paper towels. Remember, I used to blow my nose in rolls of toilet paper? I splurged and bought Kleenex like 2 months ago, the 4 boxes for like $4.50. And we all have a box of Kleenex in our room, and it's really nice. Because, the cats will do their quick hairballs or whatever. And, I might have to pick something up off the floor, but it's nice to just be able to grab a Kleenex. I hope he didn't leave. Oh, well, I mean, Mary Jane is, I see some peace signs right there. And then him saying this. Can you talk to her and ask her why? Leanie, I feel sad. I'm going to go. I didn't see that. See y'all later. Oh, oh. So funny. I mean, not what Rapper's feeling, but this. Or this, I mean. Or maybe you are addicted too. So funny. And Rapper, Mary Jane has no bad feelings. Okay, we already said that. I think he left. Yeah, he was talking about you. I don't know what it's about. Maybe you said something and you didn't even mean him, or he misconstrued it. Maybe he saw something typed somewhere and he misconstrued it. I mean, I'm kind of going through it with Demetrius. I mean, he used to call a lot. Okay? We're talking about relationships, trying to stay happy, dealing with stress and anxiety, and now Rapper's upset in chat. I was never, ever going to bring anything up about Demetrius. But I almost think he wants me to, and I'll say why. This is the second time he's just popped in my chat and in big letters said, don't talk about other creators or blah, blah, blah. And it's obvious to me he's angry. And, um, I mean, even when he would call and talk to my son, I'd yell in the background, hope you're doing okay, Demetrius, this kind of thing, right? And then they had their little kind of falling out, whatever. No one was angry at each other, but just Parker's being suspicious of things and people and words and sounds and assuming things are to him when a man is out on the sidewalk yelling up saying, you better watch out or whatever. I tried to tell him, it's probably the second floor. I mean, it could be the first floor. I mean, if the guy's looking way up, or even way up could be the second floor. We're pretty high up. So anyway, but hardly nothing I say makes a difference in how he feels. And he will ruminate this in his brain. He's been telling his friend Greg. He'll probably talk about it for the next week. So anyway, Demetrius is going through his own things in life, and people know that, I helped him get a portable oxygen machine about close to 2 years ago now. And that was with my trust fund. I'm not rich or anything, but I just thought that was a better thing to help someone out, right? Um, than buy a bunch of games for like Xbox or something. Should I have saved it? Probably, but I never thought I'd be dealing with my son visiting slash possibly moving this soon. But now he's kind of saying he wants to see a physical therapist. And I said, well, I thought you were leaving this summer. And so things are still really up in the air. Joe knows. Joe, like you were going to do a few years ago, you could come in your van with a tent and things, and it'll be summer, and you said you wanted to go to a campground. Um, Honestly, how well Parker will handle it, like if a bug gets on him or something, I don't know. But you will be in a tent, so I mean, it'll probably be fine. But there's ways to do things, right? Um, but anyway, so um, as far as Demetrius and I go, I texted him nicely. Well, first we talked on the phone, and I said, I don't have time to even hardly say hi every day. I just don't. We discussed things, and I thought everything was fine. Well, I don't know if he was kind of testing me or what, but he called the very next day, and I had my phone off, and I had it off the next day. And I saw a few missed calls at some point, but I thought, why is this happening when we just had this talk, right? Well, then he got very angry, um, called me some names, I won't say what, texted me some names, and I told him, I mean, he's going through his own stuff. He doesn't have immediate family in his life, things like that. I didn't say, leave me alone, blah, blah, blah. I just said, look, you know, trying to set some boundaries in a kind way, in a friendship way, right? And I don't know, like, I kind of thought he'd be okay with things and would understand where I'm coming from. I haven't heard from him in like close to a week, except when he pops in here like this. And Demetrius, I don't know what you want from me. I'll be your friend. Um, you and my son were really close, have a lot in common, and I know that fizzled out. Um, but I've got animals to contend with and appointments, and I have to arrange rides, and I pay for the rides, and I'm making myself get to bed now earlier. But like last night, it was 5 in the morning, and before that, it was 2:30 or something, and before that, it was like 1, I think. But before that, it was like 11. I've got to get my sleep. I mean, I am not 20, 30, or 40, or even 50 anymore, you know? Um, so I can't accept phone calls early in the morning, the time difference. We've talked about that. And I know you're just probably just, you know, I mean, I'm just going to say this. It's like there could be you not having your immediate family in your life because they're perished, basically, we'll just say. Um, some things that you need to go through. I mean, I'm a phone call away, but I don't want to be doing the phone. We can say hi in Messenger, I mean, I don't even have men in my messenger, you know, and, you know, in a way you're lucky. I'll even talk to you in messenger. I mean, because I don't want to deal with all that. I mean, you know, unless it's something important or whatever. But you know, meeting new men and not meeting new men, but people reaching out and saying, "Oh, I want to be your friend on Facebook," and then before you know it, they're in your messenger or something. I got, uh, you know, but I feel bad. But you know, I did not say. I mean, I've been nice to him. I'm still nice to him. I'm trying, even with what I read about being happy in thoughts and mood and things, coming towards, I'm relating to him, trying to excuse me, with understanding and compassion. I just am. And maybe that's not enough, you know? All right. So there's a dozen ways to prevent anxiety from escalating. And um, it's a lot of reading. So you know what? I'm going to save that for next time because I'll say what they are, but I won't read them all until tomorrow or whenever I do a live. Probably be tomorrow. 1, retreat. 2, talk to another person. 3, do something physical. 4, engage in a simple, repetitive activity. 5, do something that requires focused concentration. 6, express anger. 7, experience something immediately pleasurable. 8, practice thought stopping. 9, practice abdominal breathing. 10, practice muscle relaxation. 11, repeat positive coping statements. 12, use breathing or relaxation in combination with positive self-talk. Yeah. All right. Enough of that. But Demetrius, if you're going to pop in here and be like that towards me, you expect me to just ignore it, which I did last time. I didn't say one little word. And then this time I said, look, I'm giving a shout out to other creators. I mean, people do lives on me, and I don't care. I say stream away, clip away. I just don't care. You know, I think it's kind of funny because to me, I'm just a regular person, like kind of anyone else. I mean, not like anyone else. I know I'm more kind of transparent and whatever than other people, but I'm me, you know. So, you know, you can come in here next time. I don't know, you're probably listening and just not in chat, and just be relaxed and say hi. Um, tell me what's going on in your life in Messenger. I have you on Messenger. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand. You can even talk to me on there. There's the little microphone to leave a voice message or type something, you know? Okay. Now, as most of you Oh, Rapper reminds you of your son? Wow. That's really nice. I think people are kind too. I have a great group of people. Have the whole time. 7 months I've been doing this since on the 21st was 7 months. So 7 months and whatever, 6 days. And hi, Sandra Ernest. Oh, I did. Are you, I'll just say your first name. Are you Donna? Are you Donna? You must be Donna. Because the only other Donna I know is uh, Donna Panic Clark. I mean, she says that's who she is in chats. Yeah. Hi, Susie. Aw, Rapper, are you back or did you not leave? There's Rapper. That's why we come here. Aw, that's nice. Oh, good. I am a good man. I just been through a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Crying is very cathartic and helps to make you sleep, says Lulu. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, Sandra. Thank you. Oh, you like my top? Thanks, Pink. It's cherries. Cherries are nice. I wish I had cherry earrings. I have little teeny strawberries, but I have these in today. They're fake diamonds. I'm sure they're not real. Gosh, I'd be right back. My tears all over my eyes, says Rapper. Oh, oh, Mary Jane, try to stay positive. It took me a long time, but I still keep trying. Yvonne, very cute. Hi, Yvonne. Hi there. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So I checked my. Oh, so anyway, are you Donna? Where are you? Are you still in here? Okay, Winter. If you're Donna, uh, yes, I did, and I so very much appreciate that because that was in PayPal. Yes, you are Donna then, because I got, they're not exorbitant, huge amounts, but three people. Two gave me something or one in PayPal and two in Cash App. And then this morning I had something in Cash App. And you guys, like I owe an extra $10 to get to a doctor's appointment for gas. I'm able to take that $10 out of there and then be able to buy a big box of cat meat because I'm down to about 6 cans and a bag of kitten chow and maybe even a small litter. Isn't that amazing? I'll for sure be able to get a box of litter with all of it. I'm just saying, if anybody has the means and the will to help me today or not tonight, but I'm saving it. And then when I go to the store, because I have to pay $10 to get there, to get a ride there. So I go once a month to shop for food or twice with my food stamps because I get food stamps, my son gets food stamps. And then I used to go once a week for toiletries, but I don't do that anymore. I don't have the funds for that. I don't have the gas money for that, and I just make it work, right? But if you want to support the channel, there's my Cash App, there's my PayPal. cherries are cute. The matching earrings would look cute. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Thank you, Winter, so much. I was like, who is this? And I mean, it did because I was nearly begging. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because um, my son was going to leave, um, move with his dad in flippin' May. That was like a week away. Well, hey, hi Raider. Look at he's got his. But now my son might be staying another 2 months. And when you're on SSI, you're supposed to pay 30% for where you're staying for rent. So he's got to pay something so he doesn't get in trouble from the department. Because then when they ask for receipts and they ask for things later on, hi Raider, because it's already happened to him and it happened to another lady friend of mine and someone else. You screw up, they charge you $3,100. I don't know why it's that amount. You don't pay it all at once. They take 10% out of what you get, right? So people that are on SSI, if you're getting 900 and something, then they take that 90 out every month until it's paid back. Rapper hate usually is jealousy. Yeah. But Mary Jane, she's not jealous of anyone. It looks like everything's fine now. Yay! Oh, cherries are my favorite fruit. You'd be coming into cherry season now. I know. I love the are they called dark cherries or black cherries or whatever? They're like a almost a dark purpley blackish red. Oh gosh, they're so good. Um, yeah, I don't know if they're in season yet though here. So thank you so much. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. That's really super nice. Thank you. Oh, funny. Raider Rick, he had me pissing last night with laughing. Oh, the bitter cherries are very good for your health, but very sour. Yeah, funny. Wow, you're all here. Well, now we get to hear some depressing news. Um, so in my email, true crime comes up, right? Because I subscribed to something. Oh gosh, close to a year ago. And I thought, people talk about the past crimes and people missing, and they do their thing on that. A lot of different channels, right? Well, I'm not going to cover. I mean, I'm going to cover them, but I'm just going to bring them to awareness. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, what is going on? So, mm, okay, here we go. So I already said my copyright. I'll say it again really quick. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So this story came up. What happened to Mark Heimbaughh? Heimebaugh, a New Jersey boy who vanished in 1991. He was 11 years old and he disappeared from his Jersey Shore home. But I skimmed over this a little bit and he left for a moment and then disappeared. This is the boy clear back in 1991. Okay, and he was 11. So 4 years older than my son he would be now. So 28, 29, 31, 32. He would be 32 now if he was alive. And this is the article. An 11-year-old boy ran outside to check on a nearby brush fire along the Jersey Shore in November 1991 and was never seen again. More than 30 years later, the missing persons case of Mark Heimbaughh has gone cold. But now investigators tell this magazine that new developments could help them finally crack the case. Okay, there's a new episode titled, Where is Mark Heimbaughh? And I'm not sure if this was the year or not. There have been promising leads before. Okay, this was in the past. This was a promising lead. A firefighter recovered one of Mark's hand-me-down LA Gear sneakers on the beach. Yeah. Hi, Adam and E Proton. I know. It's so distressing. His mother, Maureen Heimbaughh, says, I got excited. She thought to herself, he's got to be out there. There's his sneaker. But the lead, the cats are shoving each other up against the door. But the lead ran dry. Police also worked through the theory that Thomas Butkovich Jr., 57, and of Pennsylvania, had kidnapped Mark. Butkovich, who was sentenced to 18 to 36 years in prison after being convicted. I have a trigger warning, but it's well, I thought I had one that was a ticker. Okay, let me see. Edit, delete. Okay, I'll edit this one. Edit. Jeez. You guys like my little trigger warning? Funny, isn't it? Oh, is there more? Are there more? Is there another stabbing in Australia since the gosh darn all the talk that I did an entire, well, not an entire part of my life on the stabbings in the church and then the mall, right? Like you're saying here. Is there another one? Thank you, Mary Jane Doe. It's like an internet, it's like no internet connection sign. Well, when I typed in the word warning, that sign came up, you guys. Oh. Oh, good grief. Wait, what's that one? Oh. We've had so many stabbings in Australia the past few weeks, unprecedented amount. Many have died. Every day it is another story of a stabbing death. Really troubling. Wow. That would, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like that would almost be scarier than being shot. Don't you feel it more? I don't know. I shouldn't even be comparing. Okay, even more now, says Lulu. A young dad was killed overnight in a shop. Another yesterday in suburb Ninth or North or NTH West Sydney. A Coptic bishop. Thank God we don't have guns. Or tally might be way higher. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I frankly believe we have a real problem, but I'm a Democrat too, you know? Okay, you guys. Okay, so this Butkovich was sentenced to 18 to 36 years in prison. After being convicted of, I can say sexually, can I? All right, sexually assaulting young boys. Resembles a sketch of the man witnesses saw chatting with Mark the day he disappeared. Oh gosh, you guys. And a male, I'll just say SEX worker, also told police that Butkovich had shown him a video of a little boy that looked like Mark. Butkovich claims he had nothing to do with Mark's disappearance, and police say that nothing concrete connects him to the case. Okay, let me mute this for a real quick. Okay, this is very short, you guys, but, you know, I'll explain a little bit.
They didn't understand why they would find just one shoe. Did he take it off? Did his foot hurt? Did he injure himself?
The first thought as to why maybe the sneaker was there by itself was that maybe he re-injured his foot.
His foot would get swollen, and sometimes he would take the shoe off because of the pain from the swelling. It just became this puzzle piece. They're not quite sure what it means except for the fact that he was there.
All right, like I said, that was very short. Police released this age progression photograph of Mark Heinbach in 2020. Take a good look at it, you guys. Does anyone know this man? I don't know, just when someone's missing that long, and when there's talk of these people and witnesses, and then the cops say they don't have any. Okay, and there's the name, Mark Heinbach, Himebaughh. I've read quite a few, right, where, he was a suspect, but there was no concrete evidence, so we couldn't charge him or whatever. And then, right, better genetics and DNA things come about, and sure enough, that's who the perpetrator was. Much has changed since Mark's 1991 disappearance. If still alive, he would not resemble the freckled, red-headed boy that begged his mom to let him leave their Dell Haven home that fateful fall day to see about a brush fire. But advances in technology could help investigators fill in those gaps. In 2020, police shared with the media an age progression photo of what Mark would look like around the age of 40. Okay, that's what he would look like at 40. Investigators are also using... Okay, so I just learned yesterday what AI means, and I see the words investigators are also using AI, but it doesn't look like a capital I to me. Investigators are also using, it looks like an A and a small L. So, but they don't usually say, no, I guess that is a capital I as far as a computer goes, because they would not say they're using Al like a person without the last name. Anyway, to comb back through the evidence already collected, looking for patterns that might decades later finally lead them to an answer about what happened to Mark. Wow. Shortly after her son's disappearance, Maureen told a local outlet that she was waiting for her son to come home. Now, all these years later, I'm still waiting and hoping that I'll get closure, Maureen says. Wow. That's so sad. So sad, so scary. What is that? Oh my gosh. What on earth? You guys, I gotta show you this picture. This is an iceberg. Okay, I've never seen one that big, that floated near this little village. And I just read where. Iceberg floats close to small village. Okay, it doesn't even say. Should I hit on it and see what it says? Oh, it's an Alaskan fishing village. Okay. Wow. Okay, let me go back to where where I was. What I think I'll do is type in Mark Heimbaugh, you guys, okay? Oh, you did? You saw the case on the ID channel? Oh, A1? Wow. Wow. Will you guys hit the like for me, please, and sub up to me if you haven't yet? Oh, gosh. I was, no, I still am. I'm down in, I'm 1,000, no, 2,597. I've worked hard for my channel. I put out video every single night for months and months and months without even missing a beat. Yeah, now I'm not like even 2,600. I need 3 more. 3 people could sub to me. I'd be so happy to be back to at least the 2,600 mark. Okay, Mark Heimbaugh. Let me type this in. Okay, here's a little short video. Hang on. Good grief, you guys. I'll start it over the few seconds. It was muted and you couldn't even hear it. All right, I'm going to go off comments and make the screen bigger.
A South Jersey mother turns to CBS 3 Mysteries for help to uncover any tips or leads that would help find her little boy who disappeared nearly 30 years ago. Mark Heimbaugh lived in Belhaven, Cape May County. Joe Holden talked with Mark's mother, who still lives in the same house with the same phone number, holding on to hope Mark will come home.
Wow, that's sad.
Closing in on 30 years of grief and heartache.
People don't know that I cry behind closed doors for Mark because he was adorable, intuitive, sweet.
She is Maureen Heimbaugh.
I am Mark's mom. Always, always.
Her 11-year-old son, now missing for 3 decades this November, he is the Delhaven, Cape May County boy who's been forever lost.
I have his little troll, which is right there, that he gave me right before he disappeared, and it was all wrapped up. The police even opened it. It was wrapped in paper for my birthday.
November 25th, 1991. Mark leaves home to watch a brush fire burning in the nearby marsh. It's the last time he's seen. Fire police set up a detour down Mark Street, which flooded the neighborhood with traffic and possibly the person who abducted Mark.
You do have an 11-year-old boy who's missing. There's no closure for the family one way or the other.
A detail as random as a make or model of a car with a partial of a license plate could be key.
Any information would be critical.
Among the many theories of Mark's disappearance is that something may have happened to him along the Delaware Bay. A sneaker of his was located here, but his mom says she believes it was placed here in an effort to distract investigators.
In the beginning, the police were here every day. He'd look like that. I know he would.
Dozens of interviews and even some possible targets of the investigation have all amounted to only more questions and some dead ends. The Cape May County Prosecutor's Office declined to discuss potential persons of interest. For now, Mark Heimbaugh has been forever lost, while also forever young as the clock has ticked on.
He's always that young, and we need to find him and find who is responsible for this.
He was taken, but I don't know why. There's a lot of theories, but I don't know why, what it was. But that's why I'm hoping someone will come forward with that.
Reminders of Mark are everywhere.
I take my finger and I kiss his picture a lot.
But no Mark. He turns 41 on Sunday. It's a day Maureen chooses to celebrate while lost in forever agonizing over the whereabouts of Mark Heimbaugh.
I've accepted that I could go to my grave and not know. I don't want that. I want the closure because the not knowing is the hardest. In my heart, I know he's probably gone because of the time. But you can't give up. I am not giving up on him coming home. I'm not.
For CBS 3 Mysteries, I'm Joe Holden.
Wow, you guys.
And if you have any information that may
Let me play the rest of the end here.
to Cape May County prosecutors, call the tip line at 609-465-2800.
Wow. Here's another little one. This one's 11 minutes.
Hello everyone, welcome to True Crime Tarot. I am Natalie and today's case
I don't know. I might get in trouble if I stop every few seconds with this one. Just a second here. Okay. This is did Thomas Butkovich unalive Mark Heimbaum by Rich McHale. And I don't know, I guess he's a criminologist, a New Jersey criminalpodcast.com. It's only 2 minutes and 40 seconds long, 46 seconds long. I'll play about 15 seconds and then stop it and do that kind of thing. And then we'll go on to another one.
Thomas Butkovich becomes a major focus of our investigation. While the state police are reinvestigating the previous parts of the case, and they search his apartment in Havertown, and I'll tell you, I don't know if they knew it at the time, but you're like, wow, like this guy may have a video of raping Mark Heimbaum in this apartment. Like this is the gold mine where we're going to find this. You're thinking, right? He was not living in that apartment in November of 1991. He was still living at his parents' house in Sharon Hill, PA. I don't think our investigators knew that right away. So, but we're thinking.
I wish he hadn't said the R word.
This is where the assault took place. This is where the video was played. This is where Mark was molested.
Goodness.
We're going to find the tape here. The tape was not found during 2 search warrants of that apartment. Search warrants of his parents' house, search warrants of his friend's house in Upper Darby. We did learn a lot of external.
It's halfway over.
Information related to Butkovich during these search warrants and interviews.
Oh, it's Butkovich.
Numerous prostitutes are interviewed because we're trying to find out, is Butkovich the guy that took Mark Heimbaum? And they...
Okay, I thought it was Butkovich. It's Butkovich. Butcavage.
They searched his apartment in Havertown. And I'll tell you, I don't know if they knew it at the time, but you're like, wow, like this guy may have a video of raping Mark Heimbaum.
Okay, now see, so it's just repeated over and over again for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Good grief. They had to say the darn R word. Just bugs me. Hey, thank you very, very much, Angelique. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got it this morning. I hope you're still in chat. Wow. Wow. Thank you. That was a surprise, too. Everything's a surprise. I don't know how much of my live you've seen, but I feel like I'm almost begging. But I'm even when I asked for help with the kittens and the cats before, it was always like not everything was needed. It was like in case I need a litter, in case I run out of kitten chow. Now it's like, when is it going to happen? And am I going to have the money? And probably not if I don't get help. It's like that now. Whether people believe it or not, I just don't even hardly care if I come across as grifting / begging, because I have seen people come right out and ask for, gas money and put a wish list up, and you know what I mean, and money for trips and whatever it is, different items. um, you know I've seen it, so it should be okay for me to ask for some help. And I have umpteen people, like umpteen, say, well, you should be getting something for providing your program or something or whatever. So, I don't expect it by any means. Boy, when I get something, I really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. Thanks, Angelique. Thank you. Thank you. And then I don't see Michelle Finch in here, but if she sees the program, I hope she doesn't mind. Thank you so much for your contribution too, your support to my channel. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. And then, and Wild Angel, thanked her yesterday when she came on Leanie's. Hey, what are you doing, you Maine Coon kitty cat? All right, well, now, so when that mother said this Sunday, I see the date of that video, that 2-minute 44-second one that I showed. Oh, that was May 2023. So his birthday is in May. Oh, right here. Mark Heimbaugh turned 41 on May 23rd. Okay. I think if I play this Dr. Grande, maybe you guys have heard of him. I have. Shout out to him. His thing is 18 minutes long and 18 seconds. It's called Beach Town Mystery. And I just feel like this young man, whatever, older man now, whatever, or the mother deserves justice. I'm going to stop this every 10 seconds, say a little something, and replay it. And then probably end my live, to tell you the truth, because it's already been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Hi, Brianna. Hi. Hi, everyone. I don't feel like just going on to another story after a child missing all this time just feels right. Doesn't even feel right to me. So we'll listen to this video. It'll have pictures and things. I hope I don't get in trouble. I said the copyright. Maybe I should say it again. A third time. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachings, scholarship, and research. So I'm using this for comments, reporting, and we'll see what happens. All right. All right. I just remembered that if I change the speed of people's voice, I may not have to even stop it, you guys. So for the first time, am going to do this. And I don't think I'll get a copyright. Other people do it. They speed up voices. They play things but don't show the video, right? I think I can play the video. I think. Is making the content transformative. Yeah. I'm just gonna wing it, you guys. I've only been on 2.5 hours. I'm gonna play this. His voice is quite slow anyway, but I speeded it up 2 times that speed. Or the next 2 up.
This is Dr. Garnday. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Mark Heimball? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing by this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the disappearance, then offer my analysis. Mark Joseph Heimball was born on May 23, 1980, and grew up in Delhaven, New Jersey. This is a small town on the southern tip of New Jersey that sits on the Delaware Bay. Mark lived in a house on the 200 block of Sunray Road, along with his mother, Maureen, his father, Jody, and his older brother, Matthew. Mark's father moved from job to job, and his mother was a waitress and cleaned homes. It appeared as though Jody prioritized having fun over being a financially responsible father. He had a boat and a camping trailer. Money was tight for the family. In March of 1991, Jody and Maureen separated. Jody lived in an apartment nearby. Mark and Matthew stayed with their mother, Maureen. Mark had difficulty controlling his emotions. He had frequent anger outbursts and would get upset when things didn't go his way. He was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder and received mental health counseling. Mark attended the Cape May County Alternative Middle School. In mid-October 1991, Mark broke his left foot while on a playground. Now moving to the timeline of the disappearance. On Monday, November 25, 1991, Mark Heimball arrived home from school on the bus around 2:15 p.m. His mother arrived home from a trip to the supermarket at about 2:40 p.m. Mark was sitting on the couch and watching television. At around 3 p.m., firefighters responded to a brush fire in the marshland about a quarter of a mile south of the family house. Mark climbed up his father's amateur radio tower to get a better view of the fire. A crowd had formed to watch the firefighters. I guess there wasn't much to do in this area of New Jersey, so people were absolutely thrilled to watch vegetation burn. Mark asked his mother if he could go see the fire, and she told him that he could. He removed his good sneakers and put on hand-me-down sneakers, which were in bad shape. Mark's left foot was still recovering from being broken, but he was not wearing any type of special boot or anything like that, just a regular sneaker. Mark exited the house to make his way toward the fire. Right after Mark departed, a neighbor came to Maureen's house and asked for a ride to an automotive repair facility that was about 5 minutes away. Maureen exited her house and saw Mark around the corner. She told Mark that she was going to take the neighbor to pick up her car. Mark said, "Okay, Mom." These would be the last words she would ever hear from Mark. Emergency responders blocked off some of the roads in the area due to the fire, which caused the trip to the automotive repair facility to take about 40 minutes, when it normally would have taken about 15 minutes. Maureen returned to the family house sometime around 4 p.m. She didn't see Mark there. She went around the area looking for him, but did not have success. The fire was extinguished at about 5 p.m. There was still no sign of Mark. Maureen contacted the police at around 6 p.m. A search effort involving the police, firefighters, and volunteers was initiated. At about 8 p.m., the authorities recovered a sneaker on the beach about 225 feet from Mark's house. It was identified as belonging to Mark. It was his left sneaker, the one that would have been covering his injured foot. The police brought in dog.
Oh, I'm paranoid. I feel like I have to stop it and go and stop and go. But I just went 4 minutes. All right, Kitty, hang on a second. I've already got 4 minutes gone by.
Dogs that tracked the scent from the sneaker north to Roosevelt Boulevard. At that point, the dogs lost the scent. The police were concerned that Mark was hiding in the marshland. Maybe he was not coming out because he was afraid of getting in trouble. The police discontinued the search at 1:30 a.m., hoping that Mark would feel comfortable enough to exit the marshland. The search resumed the next day, Tuesday, November 26. On this day, Mark's father, Jody, went to work as usual, which the police found to be cold and callous, considering the circumstances. Jody told the police that he didn't feel comfortable driving because he did not have insurance on his motor vehicle. This was his excuse for going to work instead of searching for Mark. Investigators spoke to Jody's employer, who confirmed that he was at work all day on November 25, the day Mark went missing. Mark's brother Matthew called Jody at work at 5:30 p.m. So that is when Jody found out about Mark being missing. Jody was a member of an alternative middle school.
Gosh, you guys, it's just so sad. Look at him. Just a little kid.
In mid-October 1991, Mark broke his left foot while on a playground. Now moving to the timeline of the disappearance. On Monday, November 25, 1991, Mark Heimball arrived home from school on the bus around 2:15 p.m. His mother arrived home from a trip to the supermarket at about 2:40 p.m. Mark was sitting on the couch and watching television. At around 3 p.m., firefighters responded to a brush fire in the marshland about a quarter of a mile south of the family house. Mark climbed up his father's amateur radio tower to get a better view of the fire. A crowd had formed to watch the firefighters. I guess there wasn't much to do in this area of New Jersey, so people were absolutely thrilled to watch vegetation burn. Mark asked his mother if he could go see the fire, and she told him that he could. He removed his good sneakers and put on hand-me-down sneakers, which were in bad shape. Mark's left foot was still recovering from being broken, but he was not wearing any type of special boot or anything like that, just a regular sneaker. Mark exited the house to make his way toward the fire. Right after Mark departed, a neighbor came to Maureen's house and asked for a ride to an automotive repair facility that was about 5 minutes away. Maureen exited her house and saw Mark around the corner. Oh, this is Dr. Grande.
Okay, is this just to repeat over and over again too? His programs aren't usually like this unless he's just repeating one certain part. And I see, Brianna, your question about my sister. She was doing pretty good, felt a lot better, right, with all the fluid drained and whatnot. And then she had chemotherapy this past Monday, and now she's back in the hospital. She's feeling pretty sick, stomach issues, something is obstructing down there. I don't think it's a tumor kind of deal, but something has to do, I think, with the meds or something. I can't remember all of what my mom said. But she could definitely use your prayers and everyone else's. She's in ICU. I hope she gets out. My mother said she's doing a little bit better. I tried to call. She didn't answer. And, then I got a text from her husband saying that I had sent my text to his number. So then I thought maybe I called his phone too, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to, I'll either try her like in the morning, if she's sleeping, late, I don't want to wake her up or whatever. But my mother said she's doing better and she sounded in good spirits. So I don't know if that means they're going to send her home in a day or so or what. But I don't think she's having complications from the chemo. But it's this ovarian cancer. So yeah, that's what's going on. And I'm just doing my lives, trying to, make a buck here and there, however you want to put it, and entertain you guys and say hi to my friends here and just carry on with life. But my phone is on, and there's a good possibility I can visit her this summer. And I'm not, but I'm not positive. I'm not positive it needs to be this summer. I'm not positive if that's the right or good time for her, or that my mom can help me financially even get there. So we'll know more. I just found all this out today. All right, I'm going to resume this. But thank you for asking. That's really sweet. Thank you. Wow. I bet it smells wonderful, Lulu. All right. How do I get this off? Oh, all this is on there. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Mark Heimel? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing by this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video.
Okay,
First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the disappearance, then offer my analysis. Mark Joseph Heimel was born on May 23, 1980, and grew up in Bellhaven, New Jersey.
This is what he
This is a small town on the southern
said
tip of New Jersey.
already.
It sits on the Delaware Bay. Mark lived in a house only 200 blocks.
Oh, you guys. Wait, that's because it stopped where back here or something. The incident?
No charges were filed against Jody based on these allegations. The police tried to put together a timeline of Mark's movements on the day he disappeared. He was spotted by 4 teenagers at about 3:20 p.m. They saw Mark exiting the dunes onto Delaware Avenue. 2 witnesses who had parked on Delaware Avenue reported seeing Mark there at 3:30 p.m. They knew it was Mark because he had red hair and his shoelaces were red. The couple said that Mark was walking away from the fire toward Sunray Road. Mark walked past the couple's vehicle and next to a station wagon parked behind them. The station wagon had 2 occupants. A woman with blonde hair and a rabbit fur coat was in the driver's seat, and there was a man standing on the passenger side of the vehicle. He was scruffy looking, a little heavy, had long hair, and was wearing glasses and a flannel shirt. The man was yelling something to Mark. The police spoke to a guard for a park on Bayshore Road, just outside of Mark's neighborhood. The guard saw Mark walking with a girl sometime between 3:40 and 4 p.m. The guard did not recognize the girl. She was 9 or 10 years old, had blonde hair, and was wearing a blue coat with an orange stripe on the back. The guard last saw Mark and the mysterious girl walking toward the park's playground. This sighting by the guard was the last time that Mark was ever seen. The police investigated the various sightings of Mark. They were unable to find the couple in the station wagon, and no one recognized the girl who the guard described. The FBI became involved in the case. They interviewed people in every house in the neighborhood, but still did not have success. Nothing much happened in the case until February of 1993, when the Philadelphia Police Department encountered a male sex worker who said that he had spent time with a man named Thomas Bukavich. The sex worker told the police that Thomas showed him a video featuring a young boy with red hair being harmed. The boy looked identical to Mark. The police confronted Thomas. They noticed that he looked a lot like the sketch of the man who was seen talking to Mark right before the disappearance. Again, this is the man who was standing next to the station wagon. The police searched the residence of Thomas and found many adult videos, but they all featured consenting adults. Mark Joseph Heimel was born.
It's just not sounding good at all to me, you guys. Okay, and then why does it, and then when I turn it off now, it goes all the way back. So you get it up here.
The man who was standing next to the station wagon. The police searched the residence of Thomas and found many adult videos, but they all featured consenting adults. Thomas told the police that he fantasized about committing a murder. The details of his fantasy were consistent with what could have happened to Mark. but Thomas said that he never followed through with anything like that. A receipt from a computer store placed Thomas in Philadelphia on November 25, 1991, the day Mark disappeared. The police weren't sure about the accuracy of the time on the receipt, so in theory, it was still possible that Thomas had been in Delhaven, New Jersey that day. In 1998, Thomas was arrested in Pennsylvania for offenses against boys. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 18 to 36 years in prison. On December 27, 2010, at 3:45 a.m., Crime Stoppers received a call from a telephone booth at a Sunoco gas station located at Richmond and Castro Street in the Port Richmond neighborhood of Philadelphia. The caller referenced Mark's case and identified himself as the son of a witness. He claimed that a person named Gilbert Patrick Marie may have been involved in Mark's disappearance, but the police could not identify anyone by that name. A similar call was made to the police that same night. The police thought that the caller sounded sincere, but they were never able to find him. In May of 2023, it was announced that the police were working with a company that uses artificial intelligence to help solve cases. This technology is going to be used to examine the case of Mark Heinball. This case and cases like it involve vast amounts of it, along with his mother, Maureen.
Okay, so I mean, they tried, but did they try hard enough? But then again, it was 1991, right? And our technology is better now. I am going to change the title of my program, not also recent new crime stories, because I thought I was going to be doing that, to literally hashtag find Mark Heinball, you know. Anyway, all right, let me bring this back up here.
Identified himself as the son of a witness. He claimed that a person named Gilbert Patrick Marie may have been involved in Mark's disappearance, but the police could not identify anyone by that name. A similar call was made to the police that same night. The police thought that the caller sounded sincere, but they were never able to find him. In May of 2023, it was announced that the police were working with a company that uses artificial intelligence to help solve cases. This technology is going to be used to examine the case of Mark Heinball. This case and cases like it involve vast amounts of information. The AI technology is able to make connections that human beings would have difficulty making.
Thank you,
At the time making this video, the police considered the case of Mark Heinball to be a non-family abduction. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few items that stood out to me in this case. Item number 1. Mark Heinball was curious, creative, full of energy, and was future-oriented. There is no reason to believe that he would have deliberately done something to bring an end to his own life. It is also unlikely that he wandered off on his own. As much as one could appreciate wanting to escape New Jersey, an 11-year-old wouldn't really have anywhere to go, and people would have noticed him if he was traveling by himself. Item number 2. The couple who saw Mark on Delaware Avenue reported that he had red shoelaces. It stands to reason that both of his shoes were on at that time, because the witnesses would have noticed a missing shoe if they were looking at shoelaces.
Oh, yeah.
The guard at the park reported seeing Mark and a mysterious girl. As far as I know, the guard never mentioned anything about a missing shoe. This means that Mark traveled from Delaware Avenue, where he was spotted by the couple, to the park containing the playground. This is a distance of at least 3,000 feet. After this, Mark must have made his way back to the beach, where he removed his left sneaker, or it fell off in some other way. If Mark lost his sneaker in a struggle, how would the kidnapper have carried him to a vehicle without anyone noticing? And why weren't there any signs of a struggle where the sneaker was found? It doesn't make sense that Mark struggled enough to lose his sneaker, but did not scream. Also, the police dogs tracked the scent from that sneaker to Roosevelt Boulevard, at least 2,500 feet away. If Mark had removed his shoe voluntarily, it would have been unpleasant to walk that far in the cold weather. It was 45 degrees outside. If it was removed involuntarily, how would somebody have brought Mark to Roosevelt Boulevard without being noticed? That's quite a distance to take someone who is resisting. The sneaker is an important clue, but it doesn't support
Did something happen, you guys? That hasn't happened to me in a long time, unless it's the weather. It said that my internet Wi-Fi disconnected for a few seconds. Did you guys see a warning or a copyright did anyone see anything on the screen just now? It just like paused for a few seconds. Okay, maybe it's the internet. I mean, that's what came up. It said your Wi-Fi router is disconnected, move closer type deal. All right, I guess I'm okay. I started freaking out.
No one else saw. No one reported knowing her. It was like she never existed. Considering the detailed description the guard offered, especially about the blue coat with the orange stripe on the back, it's hard to imagine that, if she lived in the area, no one would come forward. I think it is reasonable to believe that the guard did not remember what he saw correctly. Perhaps he became confused about the day, or simply described the girl in a way that was inaccurate. It is highly unlikely that a kidnapper would use a 9 or 10-year-old girl to lure a victim. The story about the girl makes me wonder if Mark was ever actually at the park at all. If the guard was wrong about the girl, maybe he was wrong about Mark being there as well. Item number 4. On the day Mark disappeared, firefighters rerouted traffic because of the brush fire. This caused confusion, and a lot of cars were driving on unfamiliar streets. I think this could explain why the man in the station wagon talked to Mark. He might have just seen Mark walking and decided to ask him what was going on.
Oh,
Mark
I
looked like he
doubt
was
it.
local. The man could have said something like, "Why is the traffic being rerouted?" or "What's causing the problem?" The man was with a woman. It's highly unusual that a man and a woman would form a kidnapping team. As far as the theory that the station wagon man was Thomas McCavish, the sketch of the man did look a lot like Thomas, but I would be surprised if it was him. Thomas was probably in the Philadelphia area, an hour and a half away from Delhaven, New Jersey. Trivia. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline.
I gotta say, I don't agree with anything he is saying. Do you guys? Easily could have had a woman lure kids over. To say that that didn't to a car, didn't happen in 91. The sketch was identical to the Bukovic. You know, yeah. I mean, what? I mean, I did agree though with like, well, they had chloroform and stuff back in those days. That Akala guy, right, that was on the dating game that lured all those women. Well, thank you, off 1729. Thanks. Yeah, it's not okay. A month ago or so, it was like that. Okay, it was okay, but I need a little bit more hair. And it'll be even kind of maybe cuter when it's down to here. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Still trying to get kind of used to it, So anyway, that Ocala guy, he used chloroform. I think Bundy did, maybe. It could have been on a towel, and then when they're carrying him, without him resisting because he's out, his shoe fell off. I don't think him being such a young kid and being so careful about taking his new shoes off and putting old shoes on, he would leave his shoe behind. Why would he take off a shoe, even if his ankle hurt, and then leave it there? Hi, Leanie. I mean, in my eyes, there's no doubt the kid was grabbed. Because even if he walked somewhere, he would go back and get his shoe. Now, they said that the shoe was put there on the beach to offset the cops or whatever. Not offset, whatever word I'm trying to think of. But I don't even really think that's true either. You know why? I don't think you're going to abduct a child and then take time, even the woman, to just like toss a shoe on the beach. You know what I mean? They're just going to get the heck out of Dodge, aren't they? So, now nobody saw him leave with a man from the beach, supposedly. But maybe that's just because they told the kid, don't make one peep. 11's young, you know? Goodness gracious. I don't even want to hear what the rest of what he has to say, because I think he's really far off the mark. And it's just his opinion, and I don't mean to come across nasty. I've agreed with his other opinions on some of his shows. But yeah, all weirdos are different. Uh, Good grief. All right. I'm gonna have a bite to eat. It's 11:15. I ate something, but many, many hours ago. I need to eat some soup or something. And oh wow, Leanie. We were in the car. Oh, you're funny. Dr. Grande has a high opinion of his opinions. You know, and I think those phone calls that came in probably have some real legitimacy to them. You know, I don't know, but I'm going to change my title. Maybe Lainey will go live. I'm not really sure. But I love you guys. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to me if you haven't. If I can get even just 3 subscribers tonight, you guys, I would be tickled pink. Tickled pink. Thanks for being here. I should see you all tomorrow. I love you. Thank you. Oh, I have the hiccups. This is a good time to go. Thanks, you guys.